Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Thursday edition of The Agenda. It's me and Monday Juma. We've got quite a few things to discuss today. The game yesterday, obviously the Kobe injury, the Hojlund bid or half bid, and obviously the interest in Harry Maguire. Look, we may poo-poo it, but there are teams that are interested. So look, we'll discuss all of these before we jump in and out. Guys, let's get the show on the road. How are we doing? A Monday.
Yeah. How you doing, Mr. B, man? Wow. It's coming thick and fast, isn't the games? It's like mid-season. Arsenal and Wrexham, and we played Real Madrid early hours in the morning. I want to say hi to Jeff. Jeff actually went to the game and gave us some great pictures on Twitter. He's saying big up to all. Saw you were all dressed in red to go and represent, and it must be fantastic in that arena to watch a game of football like that. It was high level, high tech stuff, and hopefully you'll contribute to your observations there, Jeff. It'd be great to hear from you. I stayed up on my phone. My TV went down, so I had to stay up on my phone in bed watching it from a distance. You know, my eyes aren't that good, but I thought it was excellent stuff. Regardless of the result, I think this is exactly what we needed, and I'm really delighted with the players as well. And just one thing before we go into it, obviously, you picked. You didn't pick. Did you in your side? I can't remember if you picked Kobe or not. And I said, no, Kobe. You didn't pick Kobe this time. Mm-hmm. I'm really surprised he started, and that speaks volumes for me anyway, that he started the game. And obviously we talk about what happened with him, but I just think the fact that he was picked to start that game meant a lot. But anyway, yeah, we'll get into it. I hope you're well, Mr. B. How was your day, by the way? How are you feeling?
Long and tiring. I got up to watch the game, and then the game watched me for the rest of the evening. I saw exactly 7 minutes of it. I don't know what not even sure what half I watched, to be fair. I've seen the highlights, which is about as good as I'm going to get, but I want some in depth. I've kind of stayed away from the gossip. I want you to explain to me what you thought of the game and stuff like that. So I want you to start filling me in. Obviously, the Mainoo injury we can discuss as well. But yeah, I do want to talk to you. The fact that Mainoo started, do you feel that was a test because Ten Hag thinks he's ready, or do you think he was doing it as a test to see if he can be ready?
I think it's a test. The manager wants. It's not a test anymore. We play Real Madrid. I think he picked the side they felt was the best side to play Real Madrid, and that included Kobe. And that speaks volumes, as I'm saying here, about his ability. Because what I was thinking about it all night, all day at work today. I was thinking, what is it about Kobe that makes him so intriguing? And I just think Eriksen came on for him, obviously after 6 minutes when he got injured, or however long it was. And we all know what Eriksen can do, and we know his limitations. But with Kobe, he's good on the ball, and he can read tackles, and he's got the legs to get about and block things and stop things before they start, putting out fires, as they say. All right, and he's very good at that. He reads the game really well, and he's strong enough and wiry enough to get involved and get in around players. And what I felt yesterday, what stood out to me when watching the game, is that they had Tutumendi, they had Modric that no one can get near. You can't get near him. They've got Canavinga, and all these guys physically are just amazing, Mr. B. Don't you think? Like when you're coming up against them physically, duels, they're so strong, they're so composed, they know how to use their body. And I felt watching the game, wow, I felt pressure watching our players bring the ball out or get in situations in midfield. They were just getting moved, bounced, pinched certain times by the weight, the seriousness and the strength of these guys, you know. So I thought Kobe Mainoo was put in there because I think he can. I'm not boasting up. I think he can handle that kind of thing. He's wiry and strong, like these brothers in the Madrid midfield, to really match them in that respect. Because Eriksen, as we know, I don't think he's got the physicality to get around these guys physically. He's got the technique, all that kind of thing. But these guys are on another level when it comes to physical. And I just see it when we played Arsenal. Yeah, okay, we can manage that. But when we played against flipping Real Madrid yesterday or this morning, I was like, wow, these guys are really, really strong and great players as well. And it was a great matchup. We're going to talk about the game, obviously, but just talk about Kobe. I think he's ready. And the manager starting him was a big pointer towards that. He's got the physicality, he's got the ability, he's got the legs to get around the pitch, and he can break up play, put out fires as well. So those are the 5 reasons I think he could be potential starter for us. Magnificent player. And the last thing, the first goal was over after 5 minutes. Now, what happened with the first goal is, I'll just talk about it before we go into it. They were bringing the ball out from the back towards Rudiger, had time and space, okay, and we were just watching. Now, obviously, there's situations why we get into that situation like that. We can break things up. When people go man to man, and there's a big gap through the middle of our defenders, between our defenders. They weren't close together. The gap was like that. And what's the name? Bellingham.
Bellingham.
Run behind Casemiro. So Casemiro thought, okay, he's gone, but he's going to get passed on. There was no communication, but he ran through the middle of this big gap. Now, I think if Kobe was there, Kobe's sort of player can get back. Because when we looked at it, when I've done a start, analysed it really in detail, when you look at it, by the time he brought the ball down, Casemiro just about turned around and looked and hadn't got back. I think Kobe's sort of player can prevent those sort of off-the-ball runs, and, from a deeper runs from midfielders like that. He will go with a guy, for example, whereas Casemiro might have passed him off. So I think that was a major thing where I felt Kobe could have made a difference. But we're talking 15-year-old.
So the fact that we had, as Emma Kay said, we were a man down, and was Bellingham's goal offside? I know there's a lot of people saying it was on, it was off. I hear Wan-Bissaka played him on. Good run.
Yeah.
Good run.
Well-timed run. Okay. Shall we just touch on the Kobe stuff before we go into the game? Man United saying here he fell asleep watching it on his phone. Casemiro tackle took out Kobe. Really unfortunate the way that happened. It was just an accident. Jeff saying Mainoo and Casemiro were plug in the middle until they got hurt. They were. That was really important. Big T saying, I'm not going to share my thoughts on the game here. This is a Zen place. I've come for a sophisticated level-headedness. I've done enough ranking today. I'm not as good. You've got to look at the positives. Onana is a defender, plays at the halfway line, says Man United. We'll talk about that as well. Big up to Matthew Bassett. Facts, Emma Case. Casemiro flipped him right into Kobe. Nothing Kobe could have done. We'll talk about that. What about Kobe, guys? Let's just go through. I want to say hi to Red Dead as well. Obviously, Emma's in the house. We were a man down and Bellingham was offside. He wasn't offside, I don't believe, but we can, there's no VAR to really go into.
Break bread.
Definitely offside. RJ saying Kobe. It was incredible. MB, such a different perspective. Hate to admit it, but I have to admit some of the things bath time and I disagreed on. He was so right. There you go.
So what? Please, this is the part of.
I can't remember what they disagreed on.
Okay.
But maybe you can tell us. Yeah, what was it that you disagreed on that was right about? Red Dead saying, I really hope the linesman isn't that professional. Let him get away. Oh, look, we're not here to moan about offsides or anything like that. It's a great run. He timed his run perfection. Why did Rudiger have time to play the ball out from the back like that with no pressure? That's one question. Why was Casemiro allowed a guy to blindside him and make that run? Didn't even communicate to pass him off. Why did Onana come out so high, from the first touch? But it was a great first touch to take it away from Onana and chip him. I've looked at everything. I just think there's you could ask questions about other things as well. It was a great goal, the first goal. I'm not going to diss it. But Onana came out, and that's why he got chipped. Because you've got to come out, you've got to commit all the way, Mr. B. He controlled the ball outside the penalty area. His first touch was outside the penalty area, took it wide of him because he realised he was coming out to chip him. So if you're going to come out like that, get in there in his face, Don't come out half-heartedly.
So what you're saying then, he should have stayed on his line and done a De Gea?
Well, De Gea, no, I'm saying you got to read it. You got to understand. The ball's going over. You got to read the play and get there. If you're going to come out, you got to commit 100%. He came out and realised, shit, the guy's got a good touch. Now I'm in no man's land and I've just been lobbed. So it was a great goal. I'm not disrespecting it. And I just think, why wasn't the striker, Rashford or Mount or whoever's around picking up, giving Rudiger enough time and space to play a lovely dink ball? Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a lot of things. We were just ball watching. in my opinion. But I'm not being critical. I just think it was a great goal. Big up to Solo, by the way. Here we go. Thoughts on positioning for Onana for the first goal. Would another keeper have got chipped? Listen, this is the sacrifice you make with a goalkeeper like that. I think it was a great goal. The first touch, not many people can take that first touch away from the keeper. That first touch, like coming like that, and then just touch it away from the keeper. That was magnificent because he's aware where the keeper is. I need to play it there to get away from Martinez. You know, it was just so many great things about that touch and the goal. And we are not talking enough about a 20-year-old in Bellingham who is absolutely
he's frightening.
The kingpin of Real Madrid right now. Christ. He's 20 years old or whatever he is, and he's English. I mean, come on, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's going to enjoy himself. He's going to enjoy himself at Real Madrid, man. He's going to enjoy himself at Real Madrid. Just a shame we weren't in that conversation, you know.
Talking about the offside, guys in the chat, Red or Dead say the Yanks don't understand offside. Was expecting a penalty from the halfway line. Let's not get downbeat about the result. It's preseason, and we have to have still gaps in the team.
I mean, you said it there on Monday. Gaps in the team. Ten Hag, in his press conference, he dug out Rashford for his one-on-one, Garnacho for his one-on-one, and McTominay for his one-on-one. Now, we don't have a focal point with Sancho playing where Sancho plays. Sancho's not a striker. It's all well and good when we've got the ball, but the team don't have somebody to pass to. You know, they can't do the runs in training that a striker's going to make. So at the moment, we're still behind the curve. We are still behind the curve, and chances created. Was it a game that you feel United did well with the ball in their half? Because this is the most important part of it, to be fair. Were we able to impose? Did you think we were able to impose our new sort of style on Real Madrid?
Yeah, so yeah, I think we tried to do that, and we come up against a very good team who were able to neutralise us. So first of all, playing out from the back, we tried to play out from the back. They were very good because we got to the point where it was a bit nerve-wracking. We played it into her feet, which we want to do. You got to show and commit yourself. So if I'm coming and say, yeah, feet, and I know, and I'm passing to you, and I know you got a man on your back, I've got to make that pass. But that man on your back is going to pinch you because it's Real Madrid and they know exactly where to work. They're well drilled how to get on you. And like I said about the physicality side of things as well, you might not think these players are physical, but they're very strong. They know how to bounce you or edge you and get you off the ball in those sort of areas. So I felt a bit anxious for the players bringing the ball out, and they felt it too. You could feel it. It's not like so easy, pop, triangles, everything else. It wasn't working. It was kind of forced because they knew the pressure was on them. Secondly, when we played in the final third, it was forced again because everything was getting closed down. We were getting eaten up. Rashford for pace was getting eaten up because they're great defenders with pace. Rudiger, for example, really tried to put it on him. Alaba as well, great defender, reads the game really well. I just think Bruno was he played some really good balls, but we did work things, bruv. We did work things. We did create a few chances. Garnacho had a chance in the first half, and Bruno played a slide rule ball pass into his space, one-on-one with the defender, and then he cut off to his right foot and kind of shot. And there was another chance with Mount as well when it was fumbled, and I was disappointed with Rashford because Rashford was looking for a triangle at the edge of the box. I'm thinking, no, bruv, you got to get on the end of things. There's nothing there. So while he's waiting looking for a triangle, the guy crossed it and went to Mount, little fumble, and Mount couldn't finish his dinner with his left foot. But Rashford should be in those areas as well for the second ball, you know? So I was thinking, Rashford, all right, it's right being involved in the build-up. Get into the box, bruv, because we're about to play the ball into the box. You need to get numbers in there to pick up the pieces, you know? So I just think we did try and work it. And I think if you look at the stats, they had 14 shots, 5 shot on target, same with us. We had more possession than them. So everything was equal in that respect, but we had to work for it. We had to really work for it. And it was tough for us to sort of get into the game because this is a high-level football club. They didn't really have a main striker, so the defenders were like having to pick up Bellingham, who's peeling off, Vinny Jr., good player, really in his little movements. You know, you can't, if he gets the ball and starts running at you, you've got problems. So it's about not letting him turn and not letting him get in those positions. And where I felt we really struggled is we were trying to force things, get into their half, but I think this is where Bath Time, I think, made a good point. I don't know if you agree with this, Jeff, when watching the game, but when we were about this rest defence, if we lose the ball, we need to be in a good position. This is why somebody saying Kobe coming off might have hurt us. We would look very weak on the counter when they were countering us. We lose the ball and they look very effective countering. It's very, very well drilled, but we need to sort of maybe have an extra man in that pivot, maybe, rather than pushing 5 man on, thinking that we're going to keep the ball. Because the problem is we weren't able to keep the ball. They were closing everything down. They were getting in first. Tuchamendi, for example, a really strong physical guy. He was just dealing with anything coming through his zone. Come in my house, I'm going to get there first and deal with everything. Sorry.
Right. So you're saying we needed 2 to stop the counter attack. Do you think that's why Mainoo would have been playing instead of Ericsson? Because let's be fair, off the ball, Ericsson isn't the best.
Yeah, I mean, Ericsson's sprinting back, and because really you shouldn't be having to sprint back. You should be in a position where if they are countering you, you're in that rest defense, 5 man rest defense. You know, so if we do lose the ball, we think. But I felt that we were a bit naive. We were 1 man short. I would have liked another man behind the ball, so if they did counter, we didn't look so vulnerable.
Okay. So on another note, then you're saying we should be watching for our defense, but at the same time, we want to be scoring goals. If these passes are right and the final pass is correct, we're scoring goals. So I think it's really I think that's where there's going to be a lot of, because we're not always going to score and we're going to get clap on the transition a lot and on the break a lot. And obviously managers are going to do their homework. If we've got 3, if they go wide and they break with 2, then, you know, so there's a lot of variations to how teams can maybe break down. But I think the most important thing at the moment is that you see how aggressive they are going forward. And I think that's the Ten Hag way where, you know, we're now, you said we had more possession than Real Madrid. It's about bloody time. It's about bloody time we're playing games where, you know, it's a, you know, there's not much difference. We're not on the 33s and the 34%. You know, obviously when we play Man City, it's going to be different. Do I expect us to have, you know, 50% possession? No, but let's not have 22 and 23. When we pick up the ball in the half, be able to play. And are you now seeing, as you're a systems man, I know you are you now starting to see little systems? You were saying earlier on that Real Madrid was setting traps. Yeah. Did you see any traps that United set for Real Madrid, or was it just everything seemed to be?
We created some chances. We played well. Look, I'm happy because I'm seeing things. Say, this is good. You know, I was a bit nervous once we went 1-0 down. Thought, okay, but we restricted them. They scored early in the game. They scored in the last minute as well, which suggests the middle part of the game, which is the big story of the game, the main burger. You know. We had a lot of the game. We were their equal. Anyone watching as a neutral would say, okay, initially Real Madrid looked good. They look good with their patterns of play and everything else, but we've worked our way into the game. And there's a lot of promising things to be thankful for with what we're doing. You know, so just to add, when they neutralized us, when they set traps for us, it was like the second goal, the goal they scored right at the end of the game. I know I'm jumping, but it's true. The goal they scored at the end of the game, it was another thing where we had rotated and there wasn't enough communication. The first goal, like I said, the off the ball run, blindside to Casemiro from Bellingham. He didn't go with him. There wasn't communication to pass him on. There wasn't communication from the goalkeeper saying, I'm coming out and claiming this completely. Or, you know, things. So there was a lot of things. There wasn't enough communication to close down the initial pass from Rudiger in the first place. You know what I'm saying? That's a communication thing, which can be improved. The second goal, it was a transition. They switched the ball really well. There's our back 4. Second half, we had Williams, Lindelof, Maguire, and Dalot. So it ended up being Dalot. Sorry, at left back was Maguire. Centre left back was Lindelof. Then behind him, he had Williams and he had Dalot. They exploited that because suddenly the communication, it didn't take, in the space of, it could have been 5-10 seconds, get back in shape. Williams should have transferred himself over. There was a lot of pointing by Lindelof and Maguire, but pointing with no effect because nothing happened by it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So they switched the ball around, crossed the ball, and the guy peeled off Williams, who really, if that was a centre back in that position, would have read that and picked him out. Williams was ball watching. Now I can forgive that because we don't think Williams is good enough maybe to make it, and that would be another example. So I can't be too downhearted on the guys, but they reason you've got to be so concentrated at this level. So when you're in that position where people have to reshuffle their positions, don't point and say, yeah, you pick up this guy. Because if you go and break it down, which I have earlier on, break down the goal, how they transition. Right, guys are out of position. My thing, I'm a centre back. My thing would straight away be, all right, I'm out of position here. I'm playing left back all of a sudden. Williams, what are you doing over there? As soon as it slowed up, there was time, you shuffle over and get it back. Because I want to be in the middle in my house. Because when the ball's played in the 6-yard box, which it was, that's a centre back's ball. You clear that. When you got a fullback there who's just ball watching and gazing, and then the guy just peels up him just 1 yard and scores an overhead kick, you look stupid. And unfortunately, Williams, I would say Williams' fault and lack of communication to get reshuffle, to get yourself back in position. And where is the midfield to sort of get back as well? I know we're trying to force a goal and get back because at the time it's only 1-0. But I just feel if you want to really break down the goal and analyse it, that was the issue for me. Lack of communication, should have reshuffled and got yourself back in position. You don't allow the fullback to be in the 6-yard box when the big headers of the ball who rule and clear things are playing out left back. We got moved around, rotated around because we were struggling to get back. Communication needs to be key there. Someone needs to dominate, and Williams should have taken responsibility. Said, "Lindelof, quickly switch. Let me go back," or something like that. I know.
Well, why should it have been him? You've got two internationals. They could have been telling Brandon Williams to be switching.
Well, they were pointing, but they weren't saying the right thing because they were more worried about because they switched to play Real Madrid. They went from the left to the right, and the right crossed it to the left again. So it's a switch of play. While that's all going on, they were just pointing. I don't know. We can't hear what's being said, but whatever they pointed at, really, truly should be saying, all right, Maguire was a left back trying to stand off the guy. Lindelof should have said, right, I'm looking that way. Let me see what's going behind me. Quickly switch with me, Williams, and let me go back and deal with this guy because he's peeling off. You don't mark the man. You don't mark air. You mark the man. He's the one who's going to score the goal at the end of the day, in my opinion. And you control your zone. Your zone as a centre back is the middle of the part, the 6-yard box where the guy scored the goal from. So you don't want to be in a position where that your left back is marking that space because he didn't do it well. That's just my opinion on it. Otherwise, I'm really pleased with the way we played, Mr. B. I thought we really pushed it, matched them. And as the manager said after the game, we're just lacking a goal scorer and not finishing our dinner when we had chances to do that really easy. So I'm pleased overall.
You want to go through a few of these messages before we actually go into the goal scorer or a goal scorer?
So Jay saying here, Solo, he met up with Jay Motti, was so happy the Man United was in the house last night. He wants to come on next for your last show. So yeah, thanks for representing. Guys, everyone just big up Jeff. You represented the Man United agenda last night at the game in his home state. It was in Houston, wasn't it? Was it Houston? Texas, yeah. Emma saying here, by stats, we were quite even. We even had a bit more possession than them, for sure. Big T's saying here, as good as he is, Varane has got the legs to play this new way. He's asked the question, has he got the legs? Yeah, he has. I think he has. System will allow us to do that. Subs is saying, decent analysis. Thank you very much. Big up to Bart, by the way, Liverpool fan. I can't go through all the comments. Mount says, Jeff is saying, Mount was disposed so easily, same as Bruno, he felt. I want to say hi to Savita, Breeder. Just got to call you Breeder. Hey, guys from southern Spain. And big up, you got a leaf there. Mr. B knows what that is, I think. But Bart saying Mainoo was seen wearing a protective boot. We come on to that. I'm just going to touch that bit. Man United saying Man City with a beat Real Madrid team, which is concerning going into the new season. They're going to dominate the league again. I'm not concerned. I think.
Do you know what? I don't. Systems. Ten Hag needs to use his head next season because away for home we were atrocious, and that was against it. Was it just Man City? It was everybody. We were shit. So he has to be sitting down and working out what he's going to do. But whether or not Man City's midfield is going to be better than ours, I don't think that's going to be the issue. If we put our chances away, the chances that we create, I don't think we have a problem. I really don't think we have a problem.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I totally agree. If we have to finish our chances because we do create chances. You might have more possession than us, but we have chances. We had more chances than them yesterday, and that says a lot as well. Rest defense, obviously, when we're getting countered, you need to have numbers behind the ball. You don't want to have players like Eriksen and Casemiro having to sprint back and that was sadly lacking. That's why we ended up in a position where they scored the second goal, because we couldn't get back and we couldn't reset and get our positions correctly, in my opinion anyway. Ref saying sadly Ericsson could not run. De Gea says Bar is the right one, and United will be vindicted in the long run. Thank you very much. We tend to agree with that. Dead Red or Dead saying City lost games last year. Forget them and what they do. We need to beat the rest of the league and to win the Prem. Consistency is key. So there you go. There's a counter to that about Man City, which naturally, I mean, it's a great comment about Man City. They are great. Breeder saying here, United came into the game after 90 minutes, in his opinion. This is true, but we did come into the game. That's the most important thing. Big T saying, could the cross have been claimed by the second goal? Could the cross have been claimed on the second goal? I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't, because you're shuffling from left to right. You have to reorganize, set yourself, and I just think I blame the back four. They should have reshuffled and got themselves in position. The goalkeeper has got to, cover the angles. He should be talking. It's all communication, isn't it, Mr. B? The goalkeeper with the defenders and everything else. And these aren't our first team defenders, by the way. This was the B team defenders that happened to. Brandon Williams is nothing special to Man United. I do agree. I'm not here to rip him, but I'm just pointing out how the goal went in. I felt he was a bit poor. Amrabat next to Casemiro would have changed the whole match. Sure, Butcher. Wan-Bissaka saved us in defence. A bit fair. So Wan-Bissaka was outstanding, in my opinion. He played really well. Bart saying, go on.
I have to ask you about Wan-Bissaka. Is he? I mean, he was doing one-touch passing.
Yes.
Yesterday. Now, I'm sorry. I didn't see any of that in Wan-Bissaka's skill set before Ten Hag come. Obviously, he's taken on board what Ten Hag's saying, and obviously he has to be doing outside training. But the fact that he's been able to improve that part of his game so much under Ten Hag, I'm really impressed. You look at him and if Wan-Bissaka, he's still got that mad tackling. Yeah. So at the moment, he's keeping Dalot out, but I'm thinking he's keeping Dalot out on merit, not a keep fitness thing. Yeah, I've been really impressed.
I totally agree. Like playing, like you said, he was even playing balls into feet. First time, ping into feet. And this, when you do this, it really helps you, because when you're playing right back, you've got a lot more time in the middle of the park, I believe. And he's getting the ball, and he gave one short pass early in the game where he gave it away slightly, but he's reading the game really well. He's getting forward. He's got that confidence, chest out confidence. He's a poker face player. He's not sort of emotional player. I've never seen him want to get up in someone's face and want to fight them, or get shook. He doesn't even look rattled. Vinny was running at him yesterday, and even though he just got a slight yard to take off shot, he knew he was on. If I was watching, the way I see it, if I'm watching Wan-Bissaka playing for a foreign team or another team, I'm saying this guy's good. This guy, why can't we sign this guy? He looks good. This is what I think. So I just think Wan-Bissaka bringing the ball out, 1-2 touch football in spaces. He's got to understand this. He's, as a right back, or that right position, that area of taking up there, you're going to get a lot of time and space, and you don't need to panic. So the ball comes into you, right, I've got options here. I can play it safe and go home. Or I've got Bruno, Casemiro, Kobe, Ericsson, whoever it is, inside. Pong, ping, and then you're playing ping pong with that, not ping pong. What's that? Pinball wizard. Pinball. Yeah. These guys are pinball players. You play it to the feet, you go. You know what I'm saying? He's got so much confidence now. He's giving it to feet and he's going. Okay. And you might think, oh God, he should be out of position if we give the ball away. But you've got to do that, because that drags someone else. If you stay, you give it and stay, like worried, okay, we're not going to do anything here. For one, you go, someone has to go with you. And then that opens up for the player who's given the ball to, it opens it up for him to say, right, you've gone, you drag someone with you, and now my options are increased. Do you know what I'm saying? Wan-Bissaka's doing a lot of that, giving and going, and open things up with confidence. Confidence is breeding a lot right now. Maybe the manager's giving him confidence, Mr. B. Maybe the talent's always been there to do what he's doing right now.
Well, look, we talk about confidence and talent. We've been linked with obviously, it's a daily occurrence, but PSG bid for our number one choice or our number two choice, depending on how you want to think about it on Monday. But look, they bid 50 million euros. It was the way that it's happened. It seemed a bit strange. They've bid, but they've made that they're saying they're not going to go any further. Obviously, they've got a price that they feel he's worth. What was the point of bidding for the player if they knew they weren't going to go as high as Manchester United are going to go?
I think they're probably saying we're a prestige club. Do you want to come to PSG? It's a test, isn't it? They want to try and turn his head. They've also apparently offered a better package to him, which would be the contract terms.
And he's accepted terms.
Well, there you go. So the package looks good as well. So if you offer less money, but the package is more appealing, it's up to the club. If the club accept it, he's already accepted the terms as well, you know. But so that it's a head turner. It's kind of like, I don't know who's worried in the comments that PSG might pinch him, but I'm not entirely worried. I think from all indication he wants to come to Man United, but then so did Modric wanted to come to Arsenal, for example. We've seen this all the time. So did Rice apparently wanted to come to say maybe Man City, or if that was the, you just don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But I get all indications suggest to me that this guy we've been touted after him. We've shown him a lot of love. I'm sure when he's walking around, he's on holiday right now or doing what he's doing, he meets some Man United fans. They would come up to him. Imagine that, because we're a massive club worldwide. Imagine that, Man United fans going up to him. Russman, come on, come to it. You know, he will know it's bigger than PSG. PSG won't give you that unless you're in France, in Paris. Then you might get a bump into a PSG supporter. But worldwide, he can go anywhere. He could be in Gambia right now, you know, on holiday. Who knows? Anywhere, some strange place in the world. And you meet a Man United fan, and they would say, Rasmund, come to Man United. That's the difference, Mr. B. Forget the packages being better deal and everything else. I think, bro. Guys, what happened to Mr. B?
Sorry, man.
He's doing an overhead kick like wow.
Sorry.
Yes. What do you think, Mr. B? Are you worried hearing about the offer the package being accepted? Are you thinking PSG is going to pinch him like Kim?
I was worried until I was worried until I dug a little bit. I started digging a little bit deeper and realized that it's all bluster. The fact that they're bidding under ours, fine, fair enough. I think he's accepted the bid because, look, let's be honest. If the bid doesn't go through with Man United, he'll go PSG. I think his priority is Manchester United. He's just waiting. Somebody's just waiting for them to press that button and get the deal done. I mean, it's taken long. We know it's just frustrating because we're going through these preseason games and we don't have, man, we're playing Sancho as the fake number 9. I'm not even going to say false number 9, as the fake number 9. Yeah, he's done well, but that's not his position on Monday. And you and I both know that there's no way he plays that position this season in any game. I don't see him playing as a lone that fake striker role in any game this season.
I do.
Do you do?
Yeah. Well, look at Real Madrid, for example, and obviously football's it doesn't evolve; it just repeats systems and all that kind of thing. Because there's only so much you can do with 11 players. Real Madrid played Bellingham in a Sancho role, kind of. He was a guy intelligent enough to play a bit deeper than what Sancho was doing. It didn't really play with his back, like get the ball with his back to goal. He was running onto things. He was making great movement. He was dropping off deep when they didn't have the ball. You know, this position, as Kevin De Bruyne does so well, you know, is important. When you're going to play a false 9, you got to learn to sort of. Harry Kane does it as well. He drops off really deep sometimes, you know. So if you're playing a false 9, you've got to be able to time your runs, have good runs off the ball. You've got to be able to play it with your back to goal, into feet sort of thing. And you've got to make good runs in behind. You've got to come deeper as well to start the play and build up as well. That way, you can drag defenders all over the place. And then you can end up how we were for the second goal, with people rotated, you know, out of position and in wrong position. So I think Sancho is just learning position. I think he's got the ability to do it. There's nothing Bellingham's doing that Sancho couldn't do, for example. And he's just got to look at it and say, how do I play to benefit the team the best as a false 9? Because in certain games, I think it's essential that we do have a false 9 rather than going all out. Because that guy should help out with the build-up play against good quality teams like Real Madrid yesterday. We just have I'll give you an example. Hojlund at Man City. how many touches does he get? Thankfully, Man City have possession. The other 10 players get possession of the ball. But if they were giving the ball all the way, giving the ball away a lot of the time, poor Hojlund up front wouldn't get much of the game, into the game so much. He tries to come deep sometimes and build up, but that's something. His areas in the box and scoring goals doesn't have many touches. The false nine is different. He comes deeper and tries to build up with the play, and then you get the wide guys cutting in, and those guys are runners as well, and bring them in as well. But he also comes behind the ball and helps out with their build-up, setting up our structure to say, play through us sort of thing. Whereas Hojlund, as a main striker, this is the main difference between the two, doesn't really get the touches and needs the team to have more possession because he's not going to do that donkey work to get in behind and sort of help out defensively so much. That's just my opinion on it.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Donkey
What do you, just ask me. So what do you think with this this deal? Because we look here we go. I'll just read this out. Apparently, Rasmus has told ESPN that Chris Smalling was the toughest defender he came against. Obviously, Chris Smalling, I read that as well. Chris Smalling was one of our own, and he's doing really well over in Roma. But it's really interesting to say that Rasmus, he's got everything about his game to come to the Premiership, and we don't know yet. We would like to see him in a friendly, wouldn't we? Sort of gauge what he's got before the start of the season. So we don't know that yet. So I think it's a good thing, Mr. B. I was going to ask you, that PSV, are they keeping us on our toes here and saying, get the deal done quick to make it look like actually PSG wanted him. He's something special. Because maybe the stock is not that high, or Man United fans saying, who is this guy? But if PSG want him, does that change opinion?
Probably. The only part of it is if they hadn't made it their final bid, had the bid rejected and then were willing to come in and match United's, that's when I think Man United as a club probably would have got their, probably would have speeded up the situation a bit. But I'm relaxed about it. You're relaxed about it. Nobody in the chat seems to be too stressed about it. So I actually think that right now, I think we probably do have this one in the bag.
Okay,
I think we've got this one in the bag. It's just everything else. Everything just takes time on Monday. It's not, a quick press of the button. It's 50 million. I know people have to get paid. They need to work out this and dot the I's and blah blah blah. But Lord, man, things are taking long, man. And as you said, what we got left? 4 preseason games left. Is he gonna feature in any of them? And we know what Ten Hag's like. He doesn't throw players straight in. He didn't do it with Casemiro. He let McTominay think that he was going to get an extension to his contract and he was going to be a future superstar at United. He kept him waiting. So that's the part that I'm worried about. Right now, if we get the striker, we need him in, at least 2 games, at least 2 preseason games, and he needs to bag in at least one of them. But who knows?
Well, give us a bit more physicality as well. There's a couple of times we were building up from the back. I thought, okay, we went long. And you can't expect Rashford or Sancho to hold up the ball too well against these big units, defenders. I think Rasmus would give you a little bit more physicality up in those areas. And he can spin off and get in behind as well. He's got a lot about his game. So it'd be interesting. It would give defenders more of a problem that we're posing at the moment with what we're presenting with our players. Most certainly. Did you want to talk about my man, Harry Maguire?
Yeah, there was I'd say you spoke about defense there. I know that reminded you. Look, we say we mock Harry Maguire, but we tend to blame him for a lot of the issues that go wrong, highlight his faults, and probably don't talk about his positives as much. Well, you do, OMONDI. You've been championing him for ages, but 5 teams in Italy have shown an interest. AC Milan, Inter Milan, Napoli, Roma, and Juve. Now, these are the top. These are, all right, Italian football may well not be as fast or as physical as the Prem, but these are still top teams and they're still elite. Is there something in maybe the style of play that they make and the price that obviously United have been asking for Maguire? Look, we just saying they want 50 million. I don't think they do. But do you think that a deal could be done with maybe a loan to with an obligation to buy? And do you think he would go to Italy?
Well, he's hard-headed, isn't he? He's shown all signs that he wants to stay at Man United and fight for his place. So but he also has to consider he's got to get first team football. Italy would be a great place for him to learn the game. We're talking about his decision making. The only areas that we say he's weak at is decision making, maybe, and getting caught out. But by even yesterday, he was coming deep with the defender, with the striker to get the ball, and he's too late. He's not reading it well, you know. So I can pick out a few of his errors that he doesn't do well. And I just think his reading of the game is not good. Going to Italy, I think it would improve him as a player. You see Mike Smalling, as you said in the comments, or Chris Smalling, he's become a beast out there. And you got, like you said, Rasmus Hojlund is talking about him as being the hardest defender he came up against. You know, because physically he's got all the game. He's learned something else about defending since he's been out of Roma, and that's magnificent for him. And no one's talking about him being in England squad, but he's smashing it. Tomori as well has gone out there. He's played really well for AC Milan. He scored a great goal the other day against Real Madrid, header, getting up there. So he's a fan favourite for AC Milan right now. Defenders going to Italy, you're going to learn the game. You're going to learn how to defend. You're going to improve your tactical side of things. So I think it would be a good move for Harry Maguire, and I wish they would consider it, because if he does consider it and he goes, whether it's a loan or whether it's a deal, there's a lot of pressure off him. I think playing at Man United, there's too much pressure. There's all these ahs and oohs, and when he gets the ball, waiting for him to make a mistake. Whereas Gabriel for Arsenal made a mistake the other day. No one says nothing, you know. We got Varane made mistakes last season. Lindelof made mistakes. All top defenders make mistakes. But when it's Harry Maguire, there's too much pressure on his shoulders and it's highlighted too much. So I think go somewhere else. Do like Mike Smalling or Chris Smalling. Build your reputation out there again. And I think that'd be good for him. If I was his agent, that's what I'd be saying to him. Go and show everyone, prove everyone wrong by getting to a final of a Champions League or something else with one of these Italian teams, and you being the linchpin in the defence.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so one day. For your sake, let's hope so. Because if he stays at United, I think his game time is going to be very, very limited, to be fair. But look, you've been championing him since day dot. You're still giving him giving him his dues and his props. So fair play to you, man. Look, I don't knock nobody's hustle, man. He was United captain. He did play. Listen, we have to remember he hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been terrible the whole time. Didn't he? He had a good 2 years. But I say 2 years, yeah, he's had a good, he had a good, you know, his start was, look, it is what it is, man. Good luck to whoever comes and whoever goes. I just hope that they deal with this. They need to deal with 2 more signings to make us really, really happy going into the season. But is there anything else you wanna add before we say au revoir?
I just want to say it was a magnificent game yesterday. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was high level stuff. And we've shown a lot of character, and I think we're really well prepared for what's to come in the league. Games like that really is a learning game for us. Forget the result. We proved. For me, we won. Sometimes you either lose or you learn, in my opinion. So we lost yesterday. You might think you either win or you learn. So we didn't win yesterday, but we're going to learn from it. And I think they will come away from it and say, "Man, that kind of Vinger's good, isn't he?" You know how players talk. When you play your Saturday team, and you'll say, "Boy, watch out for that winger, man. He's hot." You know. So next time you play against that team, your team talk will be like, "Watch out for that winger. He's bad, man. You know, he can play." You know, and that's how I think Man United players were looking at Real Madrid yesterday, saying, "Flipping, I didn't realize Tuchel was that strong. Did you come up against him, bruv? Did you feel him? I didn't realize Rudiger could run so fast." Or they probably knew that already from Chelsea. So I think the levels they realized to get to that greatness, to have that a well-oiled machine like these great clubs are, who are doing it in the moment. Real Madrid, 5 of the last 10 Champions Leagues they've won. You know, consistency, high levels, experience in the side as well. We've got all of that, and I think we've got the right manager as well, disciplined enough, and we're gonna be doing stuff based on that. It's not all about we've got the best players. I think it's about character, steel, all these characteristics. You're a manager, Mr. B. You know about this. I'm sure you got through games last season where you weren't the better side, but you had a bit of character and steel. I know you got character and steel, but you put that onto your players. And you've won games or got results when you've showed different attributes, you know, about character and balls. And I think
the results didn't change, but yeah, they definitely showed a lot of character, boy. and a willingness to take licks. But yeah, look, it is what it is on Monday, man. I'm hoping that this season's gonna be a lot better, just like United's one, to be fair.
It will.
But with that, guys, me and Monday kind of rabbited on. We just let you lot talk in the conversation. But look, we'll be back on it tomorrow. You have to give us our we have to give us our talk time sometimes, you know. But look, thanks for watching. We're doubling up tomorrow. We've got 2 shows tomorrow. 8:30, 10:30, 8:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we're going something like that. Remember, if you want to come on, guys, if you're a member, you can come on and join Mr. B. Don't forget This Saturday night, it's going to be Errol with his last show. I'm saying Errol, you know him as Solo. His last show. And it's the calm before the storm. I want to say, go and subscribe to Eddie Football Waffle. He's got a great channel there, part of our community. Big up to Breeder as well, all the way from southern Spain. Thank you, Hasta Pronto. Pronto means... I don't know. I'm trying to act like I know. Where's half time when you need him? Top show from Matthew Bassett. We appreciate this, guys. Big up everyone in the chat as well. We didn't really cover everyone's comments, but I could read them and put them out there. And really good talking points as well. You've got really good opinions. And big up to, finally, I just want to say big up to Jeff in the comments as well, and for representing the Man United agenda at the stadium last night. He went to the game, guys, because he lives out there in Texas, the state of Texas. And there's another big fight. Errol Spence is from Dallas. He's fighting Terence Crawford this weekend. So that's another. I'm really looking forward to that. I know it's boxing. Shouldn't really talk about that, but I think there's a massive, massive head-to-head. We had Real Madrid and Man United, and now we got a big pound for pound fight this weekend. Go and check that out. But big up, guys. Big up, guys, in the mods as well. And we are saying we're out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. We are out, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow. Doubling up. Don't forget, even if you can pass through for 5 minutes, for Solo's farewell show, he's got a title. He's. Look, I'll leave the title to you guys, but look, just set your notification bell either way. But look, thanks for watching. We say every week, every show. You don't have to be here, but we appreciate the fact that you are. And thanks for watching. We're out.